All right, so today we're going to continue in a teaching that I started a few years back. It was called Prep Day. Will you be ready? That was the first part. Then the second part was Prep Day. Excuses are for you. So here coming up, bringing the third part, and every part could be Prep Day, really. Everything that we teach could be Prep Day. We're prepping you for the kingdom, right? Preparing you for the kingdom. But today is Prep Day 3. And the title of it is, What Are You Doing? What are you doing? I could say it that way, or I could also say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you saying? Why are you saying it that way? Or I could say, what are you doing? Why are you talking that way? Why are you acting that way? Why are you crying that way? Because some people, I talked about those ugly criers before. Y'all know anybody like that? I'm an ugly crier. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Everybody know that one person in their family, maybe it's them. If you don't know them, it's you, okay? So if you haven't identified that person, you are that person, okay? They cry and their face all jacked up. You don't know if to laugh or cry with them because they just... That person, anybody know that person? That's me. It's okay. It's me. My wife, on the other hand, she's a beautiful crier. She cries so sweet and gentle and just sucks me right in. Unless she's crying because of something I did, then I feel horrible. But anyway, Prep Day 3, what are you doing? So before I get into that, just want to first say thank you to Rabbi Steve for trusting me to lead, to teach, to counsel in his absence as he travels. Him and Robert and Julie. Yeah, you can give him a hand. He know more than I do to lead me here, but no, I'm kidding. He left me in capable hands with the mission support team headed by Rabbi Tom, Shamish Rob, Shamish Harold, Rebbiton Joanne, and Miss Marlene. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys do. I couldn't do what I do, and we couldn't do what we do without all of your helping hands. And the Mishpachah, you guys have been great, been phenomenal, haven't gave me too much of a headache. No, you guys have been great. You guys are always great. I appreciate being able to help all of you in your time of need. And to all those servant leaders around the world leading extensions, to all of you out there, m.t.o.i world, I just want to bless you, appreciate you, and say that we love you and appreciate all that you guys are doing out there, you and your wives and families and all that, leading these congregations. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you to Bernard in South Africa, who's hosting Rebbiton Julie and Rabbi Steve. They're doing an amazing job. Amazing job. And last but certainly not least, my amazing wife, Chantel, who shares me with all of you. I don't know why she does it, but she does. So anyway, back to business. It's Prep Day. And you need to ask yourself, you need to get that little mirror out. Remember that mirror I talked about? Get that little mirror out and ask yourself, what are you doing? And I'm sure all of you are wondering the context of what are you doing, but that context could fit every area of your life. It could be attached to every area of your life. But this is the angle a perspective I want you to take today. Prep Day is preparing you for something. Prep Day 1, we were preparing you for the King that is coming, right? Prep Day 2, we were telling you that your excuses that you have for not being prepared are your excuses. Nobody's interested but you. Nobody really cares about them but you, because the excuse is for you. When you make it to the kingdom, I'm sure the Father is not going to ask you what your neighbor did, what your husband did, what your children did. The only thing he may ask you is what your teacher said or did or taught. And I think he would more ask that to the teacher when the teacher turn comes before he gets to stand before him, not really you, but we know that the teacher holds a double judgment. So being behind this desk is a very sacred opportunity and should be taken very humbly, and I do. And I appreciate, that's why I appreciate all of you so well, because it's not easy to stand behind here and open your mouth. Because as Tupac said, all eyes on me. Y'all don't know who it is, go figure it out. But I want you to understand that a war is happening. When you go out of these doors, before you came into these doors, there was a war happening. And you're a part of it, whether you recognize it or not. Just because you don't recognize it don't mean you're not a part of it. There is a war happening. And some of you brought the war in with you when you walked through those doors. Some of you brought the battle with you when you walked through those doors. What are you talking about, Elder? I don't understand. That's when you know you should ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing that you don't recognize that all week long you've been in a war? What have you been doing in your life that you don't realize when you walk out of this door, the war begins again? You go back into battle. This is a time to be restored and refreshed. This is where you get your meals and you take a nap. This is where you get your R&R for all of you military folk. But this is just one day. The battle is inside, the war is inside of you. So why did I say it starts and it ends when you come in and out of this door? Because when you come in this door, you should give it all to him. Whatever you're dealing with, you should be giving it to him. Hopefully you're laying it before his feet and you're leaving it there. You're not taking it back out because you got stuff to deal with when you go back out in the war. There's some fighting to continue, so you need to bring it in. That's why it's important to assemble, right? You need to bring it in, lay it at his feet, go out again. Get beat up some more. Bring it in, lay it at his feet, go out, get beat up some more. What are you doing? A lot of you don't realize, a lot of us don't realize that we're in a war because we're not doing anything in the war. In marriage, we talked about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and how to go from really understanding to gain knowledge, seeking to understand so you can gain knowledge. And through seeking to understand, gaining knowledge, wisdom will help you fight a good fight. Not just in your marriage, in any area of your life. So we need to be seeking ultimately in all areas of our life, in this case, the war that's raging between our flesh, our heart, and our head. We need to understand and get wisdom, ultimately. We need to understand so we can gather knowledge, right? Remember, knowing the relationship, establishing a relationship. So then we can gain wisdom to figure out how to fight this thing within us. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me? All right. So something so big and so great, so strong, so profound in our lives, Abba will take the very smallest of things to make his point very clear. Let's go to Proverbs 6. I done bought the big Bible out today, baby. I didn't bought the big one out. Proverbs is after Psalms. In case those of you who studied that, the books of the Bible when you were in preschool, you sang the song. I learned the song wrong. My wife told me the way the song goes for real. I had the wrong tune. I think my nursery school teacher was a hip hop or something. I don't know. I was rapping and rhyming. Wrong. That's the point. They were wrong. Anyway, Proverbs 6. And we're going to start at verse 6. Listen. Go to the ant. That's it. Close the book, go home. Go to the ant. It didn't say which ant. It didn't say the biting one, the red one, the little miniature one, the one that leaves welts and bruises, that the pain don't go away. It says, go to the ant, comma, you lazy one. You just lazy. You so lazy, I got to go take you to the ant, show you the ant. Because in all your intelligence, you just lazy. Does that sound like somebody you know? Do you see that person in the mirror every now and then? I do. And you would think that laziness has something to do with motivation. Lazy has to do with anything in particular. Let me tell you that lazy can affect every area of your life. But he says, let's go back. Go to the ant, you lazy one. See her ways and be, what did it say? Wise. Remember that. Understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. So say, go to the ant, you lazy one, and see her ways, means observe her ways. Understand what the ant is doing. Get some knowledge on how to apply what the ant is doing to your life so you can be wise. He'll use something as small as an ant, as minuscule as an ant, something you kick, sweep off the front porch, get the raid because it's got in your house, making a little line. They make a little line off of your house. But I was using this little ant to teach us how to be wise. Teach us how to not be lazy. Verse 7, it says, which having no commander or overseer or ruler. They ain't waiting for nobody to tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Ants just do. Verse 8, provides her supplies in the summer, gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? When do you arise from your sleep? Lazy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, think about it for a minute. What are you doing? You sleep. Everybody working. You sleep. Folk done got up early, been to work half a day, you just waking up. I'm tired. You got work to do. My alarm clock didn't go off because I was tired. You was tired? I was tired. Excuses are for you. Will you be ready? Or are you going to tell me you were asleep? When do you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding the hands, a little lying down. Verse 11, and your poverty shall come on you like a prowler, and your need as an armed man. While you sleeping and slumbering and being lazy, the kingdom is at hand. The kingdom is at hand. Some of you gonna miss your test. Some of you gonna miss your blessing. Some of us will even miss the kingdom because we're lazy. And you're gonna say, not me. No, I ain't lazy. Well, let's think about that for a second, young man, young woman, sister, brother, jelly bean. Let's think about that for a second. Some of you are lazy in your thoughts. I talk to many of you. here, there, and everywhere. They call from all parts of the world. They just call in. You can't even think straight. You're so lazy in your thinking. Don't want to think straight. You want me to think for you. No, sir. No, ma'am. I can take you the information, but I can't make you think. I ain't thinking for you. Wake up. Brianna, they sung that song. Wake up, you who sleep. Arise, arise from the dead, and Messiah will shine on you. Did y'all sing it? Messiah, y'all ain't singing like that. Somebody said close. What are you doing? Wake up. There's a battle, a war going on, and you sleep. You're sleeping your thoughts. Your thoughts are just sleeping and slumbering. They're sleeping and slumbering. Your thoughts just lazy. It's all outdoors, just lazy. And a lot of it is because you think somebody else is going to do it for you. Guess what? Somebody else will. And guess what? That person will get the blessing. That person will pass the test. And that person will get to the kingdom while you still sleeping and slumbering, being lazy. It's prep day, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's a war going on. You could die. What are you doing? Your friends and family are taking shots. What are you doing? And I ain't talking about that shot. I'm talking about that shot to the brain, to the head, shot to the dome. What are you doing? But the reason is because we're asleep. We're slumbering. I looked up slumbering because it's so close to sleep, so intertwined with lazy. Not that sleep is lazy or slumbering is necessarily lazy, but it all fits in the point I'm making. And the slumbering means lightly sleeping, dozed or drowsy. Does that sound like somebody y'all know? They're awake, but they're just walking around life, just look like they just took NyQuil. They sit in service, they lightly sleeping. They lightly, hands folded. They twin their thumbs. They just dozed. There's a slumbering. I like this one. I looked it up. This is something my grandmama used to say. They lolligagging. A lot of you lolligagging. Do you know that word's down in the dictionary anywhere? I couldn't find it nowhere. I done Googled everything. They couldn't even figure out lolly. The lolligagging. I had to go to the Urban Dictionary. That's the only dictionary I had it. I said, go figure. That's where my grandmama knew it. It said to sit or meander in life as a whole or at a specific time with no apparent purpose, direction, or desire for either. Some of y'all I don't understand how y'all walk in the door that way. Just lolly, just like one of them functioning addicts. Y'all, anybody know a functioning addict? They exist in life. They're awake. They don't know what's going on. They just lazy as a bump on the log, but just lollygagging. And sometimes I just be standing by the door, just watch them lollygagging, and I'm just standing there just thinking to myself, they have no clue. Ain't nothing registering, ain't nothing going on. And I just want to pull them to the side and ask, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just wondering, because I call those people busy and unproductive. They busy. Them busybodies, oh, they busy. They ain't productive. A lot of us in our lives are lazy and unproductive, but we're busy. And we confuse the two because you're floating around like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, and ain't getting nothing done. You just look busy. And I'm just watching. What are you doing? Your life is falling apart. You're hungry, ain't got no job, ain't trying to find no job, but you lollygagging around. Life is too short. We in a war. Ain't nobody got time to play with you. You walking around being busy, and everybody else's business and your life a wreck. Then you call me, want to know what I think. You know what I think? Do you want to know what I think? What are you doing? That's what I think. Well, can you help me, elder? Can you help yourself? Are you working on helping yourself, or you just want it to happen miraculously because Abba does what he does, and he does some miraculous things, and I'm sure he's done some miraculous things in all of our lives. But it took us doing something to get to that miraculous place. It didn't just happen by osmosis because you just lollygagged, slept and slumbered, and just thought it was just supposed to fall in your lap. It came because you did something. Don't miss your blessing. Don't fail the test. And please, 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 don't miss the kingdom because you're lazy. Well, Elder, I go to work every day. I take care of my family. Good, I appreciate that. You're responsible. But are you lazy in your finances? Are you lazy in your spiritual life, your spiritual walk? Are you lazy when it comes to relationships with your mishpachah? Are you lazy when it comes to raising your children? Are you lazy when it comes to your marriage? Are we lollygagging and just sleeping and slumbering in these areas of our life and then wonder why we fail? Some of us going to be lollygagging and he's going to come and leave. And we posing, Instagram, World Star, whatever. I don't know what the thing is. It ain't Facebook because the page got messed up. Hashtag. Smiley. Okay. Go to the ant while you Facebooking and profiling. Life messed up, but you smile on Facebook. Go to the ant. Learn from the ant, be wise. Get some wisdom, get some knowledge, get some understanding so you can win this war in your life, this battle that's going on inside of you. So these giants in your life can fall. Scriptures say we wrestle with principalities and powers, wickedness in high places. Guess where the high place is in your life? On the throne of your heart. If there's anybody other than first you, got to get control of that thing. And then him, everything else you better, look, a couple of y'all need to go get dipped in the water again. Make sure y'all lined up for the mikvah. Because some of y'all hold allegiance to some things ain't of him. You got some stuff going on where your flesh is winning that battle. Some of you can only hold it off long enough to sit through services and then you're out being busybodies again. Go to the ant, you sluggard, you lazy one. Figure it out. You know, when people call in ministry, I work best with the ones that come with the solution or an idea of a solution. I really struggle with those that come with nothing. You mean I got to think for you and me? I mean, you ain't bring nothing to the table, but you want me. What do you think? Did you pray? Have you prayed? No, I just thought I would call you for you to pray. What are you doing? And then getting mad at me. Somebody got mad at me because I said I'm not praying for you. Yeah, I said it. Not for them. I'm not going to pray for what they wanted me to pray for. Does that sound better? Which included them. It messed it all up. I ain't praying for you. Elder, I don't understand. You just explained to me what you asking me to pray for you for that you ain't prayed for. I'm not praying. What I will do is I'll ask the Father, because that's what praying is, right? I ask the Father that you use the wisdom that he gave you to come and get the answers that you need because you need counseling. You don't need prayer, you need a miracle, and you need to come and get counseling. And if you ain't prayed, why do you expect me to pray? You think my prayer is any better than yours? But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all think it's y'all want somebody to lollygag with you. You want somebody to hashtag, and you want somebody to be fake with you. While your life is all jacked up, you want somebody to smile in your face, give you a hug, and send you on your way. That's not what this ministry was made to do. That's not why any of you came. If it is, you didn't came to the wrong place. Keep looking. This ain't it. This place was created with a vision to help you get from where you are to where he is. Amen? What are you doing? Scripture addresses laziness, or the issue of laziness in various passages, providing reasons why it is detrimental to you to stay in a place of laziness. Maybe you're not a lazy person. I'm not saying that you are a lazy person, okay? So don't mishear what I'm saying. There could be some sleeping and slumbering and laziness in areas of your life that you haven't addressed, that you failed to address, that you don't want to address. And a lot of reasons we don't want to address it, we're going to read in a second. Go to Matthew 25. Let's go. We're going to talk about this. I know somebody thinking to themselves, Elder, he likes that. He likes this part of Scripture. He does, because there's so many ways in parables that you can get a point across. So there's so many points in it. And I talked about this in Prep Day 1 and 2, and now you'll hear about it in 3. But I want to give you a different perspective today that was the Father made clear to me when I was studying this. So Matthew 25, we all got it? Say we got it. Elbow your neighbor because they're sleeping and slumbering. Elbow them, they're getting drowsy, they dozing. Get them. I wrote this in my notes. I didn't know if I was going to use it or not, but I put down, some of us got lazy servant syndrome. You got the right heart, but you just got a syndrome of laziness. So I looked up syndrome. Syndrome means a characteristic of combinations or opinions, emotions, or behavior, a syndrome. Some of us got lazy servant syndrome. Now, I'm not talking to all the Christians. They got their own problem. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the covenanted ones. This is for you. That's why you got to get your little mirror out every now and then, and you need to look at it. Ask yourself, am I lazy? Abba revealed to me the lazy areas of my life. Am I a procrastinator? Am I lazy taking care of myself? Am I lazy with my own self-care? Am I lazy when it comes to making sure my kids or my wife or my husband getting what they need? Am I lazy in my marriage? Am I lazy in my relationships with friends and family? You need to ask yourself that. Because I guarantee you, when you start digging, there's a whole lot of areas in our life we need to improve, or we could improve if we want to. But Matthew 25, it talks about the 5 wise and 5 foolish versions, right? And verse 3 says, those who were foolish, having taken their lamps, took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their containers with their lamp. Verse 5, now while the bridegroom took time, they all, what did they do? What did they do? Oh, okay. It's all right. It's okay right now. It's okay. They can slumber and sleep at the moment. But then verse 6, at midnight a cry was heard, see, the bridegroom is coming. What are you doing? The bridegroom is coming. What are you doing? The bridegroom is coming. What are you doing? What in the Sam biscuit are you doing? The bridegroom is coming. You done waited all this time. You done toiled and tasseled and wrestled and your entire life for the bridegroom to come. Now he's coming. And it's time for you to go out and meet him. Remember what I said in the marriage teaching, the last one I did. Can you imagine the idea that Abba gave me that the bride is coming to the groom? Or should it be the groom? That's how he showed it to me. The groom was coming. The wife was standing, and the groom was coming, right? Very powerful. In a covenant relationship, that was very powerful to me. Because it's the reverse of what the world does, says, and shown. That's just insight he gave me that I thought about with this. But the bridegroom was coming, and they ran out. Was supposed to be going out to meet. And all those maidens rose up and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, give us your oil because our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, no, indeed, there will not be enough for us and you. Instead, go get your own from those who sell oil. What are you doing? While you were sleeping and slumbering, you could have went and got some oil. Since you wasn't paying attention the first time when everybody else did it. Now the bridegroom is coming and you want to worry everybody else who did what they were supposed to do. Now you worrying them. It's a little busy self. You should have been busy going to get oil. Ain't nobody in here. Y'all, but any of y'all know anybody like that? John and racist. But there's a point I want to get to. The foolish said to the wise, but the wise answered, saying, no, indeed, there would not be enough oil for us and you. Instead, go to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And those who were ready went with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. The door was shut. Sleeping, slumbering, not prepared, making excuses. Every reason in the world why you ain't ready when he showed up, and he showed up and you missed it. You being lazy. Can we get that? If you can't get that, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a quick question. What are you doing? If y'all didn't hear it on live stream, I said, what are you doing? Wake up. Let's go to Ephesians. Well, no, let's stay in Proverbs. Well, let's go back to Proverbs. I'm sorry. Let's go back to Proverbs. Oh, I got 35 minutes. We're going back to Proverbs. Back to 6, Proverbs 6. I want to make a few points. First one I want you to recognize is laziness leads to poverty. Tell all your teenagers. I'm sorry, Peyton. I just happened to look at you. I'm sorry. I know you turned 16. I'm sorry. I love you. But I got 6 babies, and throughout their teenage years, guess what? All of them had a tendency, well, some of them, because all of them not teenagers yet, have a tendency to be lazy. Y'all know it? Y'all don't know no lazy people. I know y'all don't know nobody lazy. But laziness leads to poverty. Proverbs 6, we read this, verse 10 and 11. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to lie down. And verse 11, and your poverty shall come like a prowler. You're not lolligagging. You're not asleep. You are. The prowler not. Do you know the Scripture says that the enemy goes around as a lion seeking whom he may devour? Just like I said with marriages, if you're not working on your marriage, you're working on your divorce. If you're not working on conquering the giant within yourself, by default, while you lollygagging and sleeping and slumbering, the prowler is coming. You all happy. And the beautiful snake is coming. And the prowler is not obvious. Right, Mr. Pete? Prowlers are not obvious. You don't know who the prowler is. You might be sitting beside the prowler. Right now, you might be sitting beside the prowler. Put your mirror down. Don't be looking at yourself. Put your mirror down. Somebody checking to see if they the prowler. Am I the prowler? What? But laziness leads to poverty. Proverbs 10 and 4. Let's turn over a couple pages. Proverbs 10, verse 4. Says, poor is he who works with a lazy hand, but the hand of a hard worker makes rich. Ain't that right, John? John talked about his job closed down, he went and got another one. My grandma used to say when I was a young man, she says, an idle mind is the devil's workplace. This verse says, poor is he who works with lazy hands. No motivation, no purpose, just But the hand of the hard worker makes rich. Amen? Let's go to Proverbs 18. We're going to move right along, just right on over. Second point I want you to get. First one is poverty. Laziness leads to poverty. The second one is laziness wastes potential. Laziness wastes potential. Proverbs 18 and 9 says, also who is slack in his work is a brother of a master destroyer. Who is slack in his work? Lazy. Cutting corners. Trying to take the easy way out. You ain't trying to work. You lazy. You ain't trying to help. You lazy. The sad part is half of you lazy don't even know why you're lazy. I don't feel like it. Or why you ain't working. I don't feel like it. What you crying for? What are you doing? I get emotional, so I can't go to work because I get emotional. Guess what? Take your emotion, put them to the side, get the work done. Because while you standing there crying, and I don't know what you're doing, the enemy is coming. And he probably already came because he in you. He already came and threw you off course. So he got you standing here all emotional. That's the ones you just want to take. You just want to take them by the collar. You just want to shake them. Because they already in motion. You can't hit them. You can't. Not that I would. But that hand be itching. What are you doing? You can do this. You got this. Just go out there and kill it. Get 5 jobs. Tell me you can't make it and you're not doing nothing. You being lazy. Lazy in your thinking, lazy in your endeavors, lazy in your drive to go and make something of yourself. You're so lazy you can't take care of yourself. What is stopping you from taking care of yourself? We're going to get to that in a second. Laziness wastes potential. There's something he just gave me. Let's go back to Matthew 25 for a minute. This it's because my feelings. Somebody say, oh, y'all get. Anybody say all to me when the bill man ain't saying all to me? The mortgage payment ain't saying, the bank ain't saying all to me. They don't care if you cry or not, as long as you have that money when it's supposed to be there. Your children want to hear all when the children are hungry. And you too lazy to go out and make a way out of no way. I didn't say he will make a way out of no way. I said you make a way out of no way. I'll say, Elder didn't beat us up today, baby. So I wanted to contrast something, so I'm going back to Matthew 25. So we talked about the 5 wise and 5 foolish. We talked about them not being ready, right? Sleeping and slumbering. Not that sleeping and slumbering is bad. The sleeping and slumbering is bad when that laziness is rolled into and then you miss your appointment. So we go further down in the story and we're talking about the talents, right? The story of the talents. And that's in verse 25, starting at verse 14. And it says, for it's like a man going from home who called his servants and delivered his possessions to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to, get this part, we talked about it in the first prep 1 and prep 2, his own ability. So this is something you have already inside of you. You might want to ask yourself, what are you doing? Might want to pull that little mirror out. What are you doing? You got a date with destiny and you sleeping and slumbering. You being lazy. Well, what does it say? His own ability and went from home, and he who had received 5 talents worked with them and made another 5. In the same way with 2 also gained 2, but he who had received 1 went away, dug it in the ground, and hid the silver of his master. I want you to hold on to one word there, and we're going to come back to he hid. Somebody say he hid. What did he hide? Huh? What he was given. What was it called? Okay, he hid his talents. Okay. And after a long time, the master of those accounts came and settled accounts with them, and he who had received 5 talents brought 5 other talents, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5. See, I've gained 5 more talents beside them. And the master said to him, well, good and trustworthy servant, you trustworthy over little, I should set you over much, into the joy of your master, right? Rabbi's teaching that. 20 parts at this point. It says, he who had received 2 talents came and said, Master, you delivered 2 talents. See, I've gained 2 more talents besides them. His master said to him, well done, good and trustworthy servant. So on and so forth. Verse 24, and who had received 1 talent also came and said, Master, I knew that, look, here it come. Look. Woo! Here come the excuse. Anybody you ever been in management? Okay. Y'all been there with me. Y'all understand the excuses. I probably didn't heard them all. Even ones I couldn't even make up on my own, I've heard. But anyway, here come the excuse. Master. See, I knew. Y'all got them kids like that? You might know one kid, you might have that one kid that got an excuse for everything. They're going to talk their way out of everything. And they know they're going to get beat. They already know the spanking's coming. But they can't get it out. You know, I knew he was a hard man, Master. And I knew that you ain't got stuff that you ain't plant and you didn't gather from places you ain't sowed. And I knew that if I was to lose the one talent you gave me, so I hid my talent. I hid my ability. I buried the good, the talent, everything you gave me. I buried it in the ground because I was so afraid. You see, you're looking at lazy another way? Because further in the verse it says, he called him a lazy servant and say, I'm going to take that away. You're going to be cast into the fire, weeping and gnashing of teeth. And when I read it further, when I understood it further, because I thought, well, if you reveal it to me that way, for me to understand it that way, what are you trying to get me to see in this thing that I saw wrong? He said, many of us are the emotional one. Many of us are the ones with an excuse why we didn't do it, why we can't have it. Many of us have an excuse because we were afraid. You think the 5 and the 10, the 5 and the 2 weren't afraid? But you took your talent and you hid it. You took your ability and you hid it. You took everything that he gave you to make more, to be a blessing, to bless the world around you, to bless your family, to bless your kids, to bless everything attached to your life. He gave you something and all you did was take it and hid it. I oftentimes said, the graveyard is the wealthiest place on the planet. Because so many people that are dead and gone have taken their abilities and their talents, their gifts, and all that I was giving them, and they passed away without ever digging them up. You got a chance. You got a chance, but you got to break out of that lazy nonsense in your brain. Don't you leave here today, go out that door with the same laziness you walked in with. And y'all can't see my mirror, but I'm looking at myself on this TV monitor. You better not walk out with the same nonsense you walked in with. Get yourself together, Mr. Jackson. Straighten up, fly right. Stop being lazy. There's a job for you to do, there's a mission to do, and we can't use you because you caught up in yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's go back to Proverbs. Laziness wastes potential. Proverbs 24. Talking about that talent you didn't hid. Your ability you didn't buried. Proverbs 24, verse 30. Says, I passed by the field of the lazy. My. Wait, they got a field of lazy people. Ain't nobody told me it was a whole field. I passed by the field of the lazy and the vineyard of the man lacking heart, and see, it was all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. Verse 32, when I saw it, I set my heart on it. I looked and received discipline. Here you go again. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands of rest, and your poverty shall come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. Again, that's twice. Laziness wastes potential. Are you going to take your gift and talent and ability and hide it because you were so afraid to use it? I talk to people on at least a monthly basis that are afraid of success. They fear success. Rabbi has a teaching. What is it called? About fear? Rabbi, they all sleep. They sleeping and slumbering, all of them. Ain't nobody said it yet. All right, there it is. What are you doing? No, okay. The fear of Yahweh. Do you not fear being broke? Do you not fear being in poverty? Do you not fear not being able to take care of your needs? Well, I'm not worried because the Father will take care of me. I'll just call m.t.o.i. because I know that they will help me. We will. After we get your mind straight, we're going to help you with that first. We're going to help you get that stinking thinking fixed first. Third thing I want to bring up is laziness results in unfulfilled responsibilities. Wow. Proverbs 20. Let's flip back a couple pages. In verse 4. The lazy one does not plow after autumn. At harvest time he inquires, and there is none. So you ain't working. Mm-hmm. They're awake now, if they ain't. What are you doing? No. What are you doing? So you ain't plowed the harvest, but you expecting a return. You ain't went to work, but you want a paycheck. You ain't did nothing, and you expect somebody to pay you. You expecting a government handout? But you ain't did nothing. You being lazy. You just think harvest time coming, it's just supposed to magically appear. Go talk to one of the lolligaggers. Maybe they had an answer. Well, we ain't got it. Maybe y'all can just skip around together and just be happy together. Just be happy. You're going to be happy and hungry, but y'all going to be skipping together, happy and hungry. We happy and we hungry. We happy and we... Listen, this is the fourth one. This is one that should make all of you pay attention if you fell asleep a little bit ago, but I'm teasing. Your laziness harms others. You know how sad it is to talk to a woman who has a husband and her needs are not being met physically? I mean monetarily, not paying the bills. Bring, bring, bring. Hello, welcome to m.t.o.i. It's Elder Billy. How can I help you? My husband. Continue, your husband. He not taking care of his responsibilities. The children hungry, the bills ain't paid. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, what's going on? The kids are hungry, the bill's not paid. Well, does he have a job? Yes. Okay, calm down, calm down. We're going to work this out. Don't worry, we're going to work this out. We're going to figure it out together. How many hours does he work? 5. Thank you, Ashley. Is it 5 a day? What does he do with the rest of the 1,000,000 hours he got He don't need no sleep. He don't need the slumber. He need to work 24 hours, 7 days a week. He don't think we need it. Well, let me ask you this. Is he covenanted? Is he in this walk with you? He is. Why is he not calling me? Oh, he don't want to call me. Because that's when my hand get a little shaky, because they across the phone. I'm holding the phone with this hand is shaking. They can't see it. This hand is. Your laziness will harm others. Whatever area in your life you're lazy at can harm somebody else. While you got lolligagging, being a busybody, worrying about everybody else's business, but you ain't taking care of your own home. Go to Proverbs 19. Should still be open to that. 19, verse 15. Laziness makes one fall into a deep sleep, and an idle being suffers hunger. What are you doing? Why are you not doing more? Why are you not figuring it out? Why are you not coming to get counsel? Why are you not praying? Why are you not doing? Oh, I didn't got comfortable. I didn't came to m.t.o.i because they had the truth. And I love my rabbi, I love my rabbi, I love my rabbi, I love my rabbi. They got the truth. Okay. But what are you doing? Hear, O Israel, Shema, hear and do. I say it all the time. A lot of y'all just hearing it. And y'all comfortable hearing it, getting lulled to sleep in your laziness while you folding your thumbs, twiddling your fingers. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to sleep or slumber or twiddle my thumbs. Because whether it's you or somebody else, somebody needs help. Somebody is trying to be better. Somebody is trying to work on themselves. Somebody is trying to get the answers to the questions in their life that they've been wondering. Somebody is trying to get counsel and get guidance. Somebody is trying to not allow laziness to set in. This is the last point. Laziness is condemned by the Father. Did you know that? Did you know that your Father in heaven condemns laziness? I mean, my grandma y'all know my grandma was a wise woman, as much as I talk about it, right? She gave me some powerful insights in my life. And she said, a man don't work, he don't eat. Let's see what Yahweh thinks about laziness. Go to 2 Thessalonians. They're like, finally, Elder done finally got out. He done finally. Oh, be quiet, wake up. Half of you sleep anyway. Wake up. Shut it. That's for you, Brian. Shut it. It's after Colossians, for those of you still struggling to find it. It's a very small book. It's a two-pager. 2 Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 10. I'll go figure. For even when we were with you, we commanded you this: if anyone does not wish to work, neither let him eat. Oh, I just said that, right? Thank you, Grandma. For we hear some among you walking disorderly, not working at all. But there they is. They go to lolligaggers, but they're busybodies. lollygagging around, busybodying around, hopping here, hopping there. Many of us in the struggle trying to get this thing right, and you just busybodying around. Get out of my face. What are you doing? I'm trying to get somewhere, and all you doing with your little happy self is distracting me from what I'm trying to get to. I ain't got time to talk to you or listen to your happy story. That's how I feel sometimes. That was my other, What are you doing? We're going to end in Ephesians. Go to Ephesians. Ephesians 5. Get my notes. You got to go back to Ephesians. 2 books old. Maybe 3 if you count 1 Thessalonians. What are you doing? This is what I hope you're doing. This is what we should be doing or aspiring to do. Some instructions to take you home. Become then imitators of Elohim as beloved children, and walk in love. And walk in love. To Shema. To hear and do. To walk in love means to walk, which is a doing, is an action, right? To walk in love. How do we love him? By guarding and obeying his commands. All right, so that is a charge for us to go and do, right? Become then imitators of Elohim as beloved children and walk in his love as Messiah also has loved us and gave himself for us as a gift and an offering to Elohim for a sweet-smelling fragrance. Let's skip down to verse 17. And we'll go back, verse 14, And we'll go back to sum it up. I went out and turned that on time. Verse 14 says, that's why he says, wake up. Brianna, Michelle wrote that song. Brianna praise team sings it. Wake up, you who. This is your charge. Wake up, you who sleep, and arise from the dead, and the Messiah will shine on you. He can't shine on you if you're sleeping and slumbering and lazy and not doing nothing. The walking dead, he ain't shining on you. If he did, you wouldn't know it anyway. So let's go back to verse 5. Become then imitators of Elohim as beloved children and walk in his love as Messiah also have loved us and gave himself for us a gift and an offering to Elohim for a sweet-smelling fragrance. But all this stuff, but whoring and all uncleanness, greed of gain, let it not be named among you as it is proper among set-apart ones. Okay? Remember I said I'm not talking to Christians today. I'm talking to the covenanted one. Talking to you. Talking to you. Neither filthiness nor foolish talking nor coarse jesting, that's not befitting, but rather thanksgiving. For this you know that no one who whores, nor unclean, nor of greedy gain, who is idolater, an inheritance, the reign of Messiah, in the reign of Messiah Elohim. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of this the wrath of Elohim comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore do not become partakers with them. For you were once darkness. What teaching is that? Darkness and light. There you go. But now you are light in the Master. Walk as children of light. You want to imitate Messiah? He worked. And he said he worked because his Father works. So the Father works, the Son works, and you sleeping and slumbering. That don't match up to set apart one. I don't see lazy set. Well, guess what? It shouldn't be. Say, let it not be found among you. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is well-pleasing to the master. Have no fellowship with fruitless works of darkness, but rather convict them. For it is a shame to even speak of what is done by them in secret. But all matters being convicted are manifested by light, for whatever is manifested in is light. Don't listen to darkness and light. That's why he says, wake up, you who sleep, and arise from the dead, and Messiah will shine on you. You got to shake it off, people. Don't look at nobody else. Look within yourself. Am I going to be wise? Am I going to look at the ant? Am I going to look at folk that's working, trying to achieve something? Am I looking at people that are going somewhere, or I'm looking at the people that is lollygagging around in life, being busybodies? Am I in the right crowd? Am I in the right place to be blessed? Am I in the right place to make it to the kingdom? The battle is going on. The war is raging in your members. Fighting for the opportunity to sit on the throne of your heart. It's either going to be the flesh, your flesh, or it's going to be the Father. You got to make that choice. And when you think about it, because you're going to leave out the door today, at least by 9 o'clock, you're going to go. When you get to the door and you see your reflection shining back at you, ask yourself, what are you doing? Am I doing this right? Am I getting what I need? Am I getting the guidance? Am I getting counseling? Am I not got it together? Do I need help? We all need help. But you need to really ask yourself, what are you doing? You know the right way, and you know half the stuff you're doing ain't the right way anyway. But what are you doing? Is that all right? I ain't done yet, so don't get happy because you think I didn't pull the paper out. I know some of y'all getting happy because y'all just get tired and sleeping and slumbering. No. Laziness is consistently portrayed in the Bible as a negative trait that leads to poverty, unfulfilled responsibility, and wasted potential. It not only harms you, but it harms the people around you. Embracing a diligent and hardworking lifestyle is not just about avoiding negative consequences, but actively fulfilling the Father's purposes and responsibilities in your life. He gave you talents, he gave you gifts, he gave you abilities. Wake up and use them. Stop waiting for somebody else that got to identify your gift or your talent or your abilities. Use them. We'll see them if you use them. You don't have to tell nobody about it. If you use them, we'll see them. Nobody got to tell me in this room, nobody can tell me that Mr. Bohe, where Mr. Bohe at? Is he even in the room? That's my buddy. That's my friend. He old enough to be my grandpa, daddy, uncle, something. He going to be one of them. I'm just going to have to adopt him like chicken did. Nobody knows what that is. Good. It's an inside thing. But she make the, anyway. But this man just came and did. Many of you have been blessed. We've been blessed as ministry. Many of you have been blessed by this man just coming and doing. He just come and do. He don't ask for anything in return. He just come and do. And he's always doing. I ain't got to light his fire. I ain't got to ask him what he do. I know what he do. He do. Is that even? He just do it, the thing, the stuff. Whatever needs to be done, he does. He just do it. He just pop up, hey. And please don't ask him to just go look at it. Because he's diligent. He's going to look, he's going to tear it apart, fix it, and when you come back to get an estimate, it's already fixed. Does that sound like a diligent, hardworking man of purpose and responsibility with no commander, no ruler? He retired. He don't work for nobody. And he here just about every day. And the days he not here, he wish he was here. He just give and give and give. That's an example of diligent, hardworking. That's an example of the ant. And when I hear some of the things you got, I'm just grateful for them. I hear some of the things you guys call, as Mr. Picard need help with, and I call them up, Mr. Bohay, or ask Miss Marlene, call them up, hey, can you do this? Sure, I'll try. Hey, we got this lady need to learn how to drive a riding lawnmower. Is that something you? I'll try. Somebody need to get something going on with their house, or something going on with their car, or something going on with their farm, and something going on with the tractor, something going on with this. Can you help? I'll try. I think the Father is looking for more people like that. And I know it's in all of us. It's in all of us. But don't wait for somebody to have to uncover it and seek it out and search it out. Just visit the office one day and say, here I am, use me. And that'd be the day we ain't got nothing to do and send you home, but at least you came. Please, if you don't hear anything else other than not being lazy, because I know you're going to hear that, you're going to remember that. The elder said, don't be lazy. Bigger than the laziness, I want you to realize that you have gifts, talents, and abilities that I don't want you to hide because you're afraid to use them. Because you're afraid of what people may think. You're afraid of what people may say. You're afraid of what people are going to talk about you. Guess what? They're going to talk about you anyway. People come to me all the time. Is somebody talking about me? They're talking about everybody. I don't know if they're talking specifically about you, but they talk about everybody. Because they just busy lolligagging talking about everybody. Today it may be you, tomorrow somebody else. That's just the nature of the lollygagger, busybody. They just pop on the scene. Hey! But whatever area you may be lazy in, you're better than that. Remember that. You're better than that. Don't you walk out this door taking anything with you that you brought in that ain't supposed to go with you. Please take all the stuff that y'all leave behind, but I mean in you, the things within you. I want you to go up filled up with your boxing gloves on, with your mirror in your hand, because the only person you're fighting is you. Let us pray. Father, may we take this call of action as an inspiration to reject laziness. And to embrace a life of purpose and effort. See what happened when you try to write a prayer out? That's what I did. Let us be diligent in our work, prepared in our faith, and united in our walk. We thank you for your wisdom in our lives, and we thank you for your strength and guidance to live out these truths, drawing and growing in the wisdom that you generously give. In your Son, Yeshua, our Messiah's name, amen. Amen. Amen.